What are some things that a teenager should avoid? Really loud music. I mean the kind at a concert front row loud. BC tinnitus really sucks. And then there's me, a teen with tinnitus without listening to music or going to concerts. Pregnancies. Yeah, teenage pregnancy sucks. The teenager is way too big for the birth canal and usually ends up ripping it to shreds. To shreds you say? Addiction. Debt and pregnancy are the big ones. But avoid waiting for life to begin. It already has. Go in some positive direction, even if you're not sure it's the exact right one. That your life has started is some real speep. I wish I was told this at 12 or 13. I would have done so much more with my life, I think. I spent middle and high school playing video games waiting to be an adult essentially. My mom found her dream job in her 30s and my current stepdad in her 50s. Don't be too concerned with whether the things you're doing now is gonna be forever. Do what you can to open doors for yourself, but don't feel forced to think you need to know with who or what you should spend the rest of your life with at this point. Time gives you time to discover more things. Discover more things, and eventually you'll find your way, even if you didn't realize it. Stop thinking in today and forever. You got all the time to figure it out. Just get yourself a solid foundation and explore. Except for drugs. Don't explore things that you could get addicted to for the rest of your life. Yeah, my mom is married to my dad when she was 20. They are divorced now. She is much better and yeah, she is in her 30s too. STDs. I have 0% risk getting any of those. My face is an excellent protection. Anything you wouldn't want your mother to hear about at your trial. Best comment right here. Trying to change who they are / what they like so as to fit in. It's something you might regret later on. Not exploring your own individuality and hobbies. Yeah. Stop trying to tailor your personality to appeal to each new person you meet. You're not required to be everyone's best friend. It took me so long to figure this out. It wasn't until my early 20s that I figured out how I like to dress, what I like to do, or what music I enjoy, because I used to change according to other people's tastes. Bad company. People that will try to use you and lead you down the wrong path. Social media and seeking others' approval. That will destroy them for years. Procrastination. Not as big as the other ones, but my god. Procrastination can get so bad and affect you so horribly if you let it get out of hand. Yes. Teenagers need to hack themselves and figure out their own personal formula for productivity. Pays off big time. Fake friends. It's honestly better to have no friends than people who gossip about you and make snide remarks to you. I know everyone says this, but you will find your people. So true. Sometimes your people are not the ones you're grouped with just because you live in the same area. Life is so much more than high school. Avoid skipping the dentist. Even if money is tight, professional cleanings and preventive maintenance will pay dividends later in life. A horror story to prove the point. I caught a bad spell of depression some years ago and stopped taking care of myself in many ways, including flossing and going to the dentist. I ended up having to have surgery to hollow up and fill out a completely rotten tooth, costing insane amounts of money. I was in so much pain. To make matters worse, there was a surprise nerve in one of the roots of my teeth, meaning they nearly drilled while the area wasn't completely anesthetized. I've brushed my teeth religiously since, but sometimes we still find surprise holes from that time where I couldn't take care of myself for a few months. Take care of your teeth. Lack of sleep. It ain't make you cool. Go to bed early and enjoy full 9h night. Tell that to all my teachers right now. Believe me, I'd get 10 hours if I could, but my schedule simply doesn't allow it. School lessons. Every teacher for every subject assumes you have literally nothing else to do but study that particular subject. Nicotine. Avoid taking out large loans. Any loans if at possible. Though that's difficult if you go to college. Buying a brand new car at a young age is a bad idea. The majority of your small paycheck will be going toward that loan and the insurance. Suppressing emotions. It's okay to feel sad, angry, anxious, etc. Don't be made to feel bad for feeling this range of emotions through your teenage years. Wish someone taught me this. Emotions were discouraged in my household. Well, positive emotions were fine. But if I didn't look happy, my parents would get angry and yell at me. Now I'm trying to fix it by teaching myself what my parents didn't. But to be fair to them, they were raised like that too, and didn't know any different. So to anyone who's going to have children or already has them, one of the biggest favors you can do your child is work through your own speep. Because it will follow them, and you'll realize it way too late. Avoid listening to advice from idiots on the internet. Wait a second. Adults trying to be too friendly/date you. You're not mature for your age. People their age don't want to be with them or around them for a reason. Yep, I remember when I was 14 and there were girls in my class dating men who were early 20s, and I thought it was pretty odd then. And now I realize these men probably went for young girls as they are easy to manipulate. It's cliche as hell to say, I know, but drugs. Absolutely avoid drugs. Drinking too. It is easy for a full-grown adult to use a drug and get addicted before they are even aware there's a problem. So it's stupidly easy for a teen to form a runaway addiction that can last years if it doesn't out kill you from an accidental overdose. But even if you eventually were able to break the addiction, the changes it made to your brain chemistry could be permanent. That's exactly what happened to my brother. He got hit by a car at the age of 12 and his dumbass doctor put him on Percocet and that was all she wrote. From then on it was an ever-sinking speep fest of one odd after another with more and more delusional behavior and psychological damage to the point now that at 28 he literally has the mind of a 14-year-old cause the drugs never let him grow up properly. So please, stay away. Direct strikes by lightning. Strike me down, Zeus. You don't have the bay. Don't practice unsafe sex. Condoms and pills are cheaper than having to raise an unplanned child. Tobacco, drugs, and alcohol. No, they don't make you cool. They are very addictive, and you can't easily shake off the habit. Drugs. Absolutely drugs. Teenage brains aren't developed enough to handle that kind of dopamine. As someone who did drugs as a teen, this one would be at the top for me. It permanently peeped me up. Body, mind and all. It's been 8 years since I quit, and I've actually continued to decline even more since then. We are not being squares. A lot of us have been there and done that already. I wish I'd listened. The psycho cartels that make a lot of this speep don't care what permanent side effects their experimental sideshow flavor of ecstasy has on you. If you haven't been financially educated, credit cards. It's far too easy to get into debt with them and can really destroy your future for years. Thinking they're smarter than everybody else. We were all stupid at that age and you're no exception. People are stupid at all age. Sexting. Your own photos can get you charged for possession and distribution of child pornography. Ironically, you can even be tried as an adult for something that is only a crime because you are not an adult. I live in a state with weird laws around that. Basically someone 14 or older is allowed to sext with someone 17 or under. But the second the 17-year-old turns 18 it's illegal, even if the age difference is the same. Or something like that. Older men. Teenagers often think that they are cool for hooking up with dudes who are far older than them. But the people who hook up with teenagers as older adults are not the cream of the crop. Everyone wants to think they are mature enough to date an older person, but most of the time there's going to be a power imbalance. Drugs, alcohol, and unsafe sex have already been mentioned, so I'm going to suggest toxic friends. Seriously, if your friends only ever get you in trouble and treat you like a burden, they are not your friends. By all means, the prospect of leaving a social group to find another social group can be pretty scary. Facing that fear is better than being around speechy people. Mass genocide. But what if I don't get into art school? What else am I supposed to do? Mass genocide is the only way to go after not getting accepted to art school. I think every male knows what I'm talking about here. Never resort to soap for lubricant. I'm honestly surprised I don't see this mentioned yet, but energy drinks, at least not in moderation. Especially the newer ones like Bang, that have an assload of caffeine. I was drinking upwards of 3 to 4 monsters a day as a teenager and wondered why I had insomnia. I'm pretty sure I don't have a heart problem, but even 1 cup of coffee makes my chest hurt a little now. Take care of your bodies, kids. Most definitely tobacco and alcohol. Does nothing but waste time and money. Trust me. Shoplifting. One of my school friends did this years ago. This doesn't make you cool. He now has a criminal record. Prevented him from getting jobs when he was 16. Lost contact with him a while back. Chlamydia. Ever had your pee hole itch? Speeps rough. Alcohol. It might take a few years, but eventually it will destroy you and your family. Read the many examples here on Reddit of people suffering alcohol addiction. It took my son